54 came in for its 500-mile checkup. We always have everybody bring them in. It's new motor, new everything, 500 miles, oil change, all that stuff needs to be done. But we also want to do a nut and bolt check. The entire drivetrain, rear end, everything in this truck had been replaced. So we have them make a list, anything that they notice, anything leaking, anything on their garage floor over that amount of time. And there was a small coolant leak that he had noticed, and then his wife noticed when he was driving it that there was a little bit of smoke coming out of the back. When we brought it in, it took a little while, but we did find a pinhole in the radiator, so we're going to get that out and get it replaced. We were hoping that the smoke was just a little bit of tuning that needed to be done on the carbs. It's got the dual quad setup on it, so it wouldn't have surprised me if it was getting too much fuel. So we did a bunch of tuning on that. We're still having a misfire. Put new plugs in it. Notice number 7 was not burning at all. Checked that. We had spark. So if you have spark, you got air, you got fuel, then obviously there's a compression issue or something internally. Pulled the valve cover off, and the intake on number 7 was completely collapsed. You could sit and wiggle the rocker around like crazy, and it was really weird. It wasn't making any noise. The drivetrain was purring nice and quiet. It should have sounded like a war going on in here, but it wasn't. At that point, I was kind of hoping we would pull the lifters out and find out that that intake on number 7 had just collapsed, but unfortunately, we're looking at having to replace the lifters and the cam and everything on this poor girl. The ones that are flipped downside up have a small ridge on them, little bits of wear on the edge. But the one that was dropped, number 7, you could like bounce a pool ball in there. It's pretty worn. We checked the oil, cracked the filter open, did not see any metal or anything like that in there. But now we're gonna pull the front end off, radiator out, serpentine, accessory drive, everything out of here. Get the cam out and plop a new one in. He can start his break-in over and get this girl back on the road. So after many hours on the phone, talking to techs and everybody else over at ATK, the consensus is that this block is coming out. They have already sent out a new one. In fact, it's just waiting to get dropped off here at the shop. So we are going to climb underneath, get the starter out, the bell housing bolts, the flex plate bolts, exhaust, and drop this girl down. We get the hood off, and we should be able to sling this thing out of here. I'm leaving the transmission and everything in. And the good thing is all the guesswork is done. We know how everything goes together, where everything fits. And I know now that I can put the manifolds on, the whole accessory drive, everything on the motor before we drop it back in. So it should be pretty quick and simple next week once the motor gets here and we get it painted. And we should be able to get this girl back on the road, and he can start the break-in period over again. All right, the new 350 arrived yesterday. I got it directly into the booth and painted, so she looks better than the other one, if you ask me. The paint is 90% dry, so I am going to go ahead and start throwing the water pump, manifolds, fuel pump, accessory drive, everything on this thing so we can get it slapped back into the truck. So let's get moving. Alright, we have most of this together. This is the one part that I don't really remember how it goes together. I have a very faint idea, so this might take a couple tries. But I originally just took this off and left it in the car, but I decided, just because I simply do not quite remember how this goes, that I should just take the lines off and put it together. So let's do it, see what I can remember. She is finally back in the car. It was a little bit of fighting. It's been a few years since I've installed the motor while the transmission was already in the car. But little bashing, prying, moving, smacking stuff around. She slid right in where she was supposed to. I have all of the transmission bolts back in, bell housing bolts. I gotta go underneath, get the torque converter, and just start wrapping up all the little things. And then we can get the intake and all of that back on here. The radiator should be here in a day or two, and we can get her back on the road. Radiator is in from Summit. It is ready to go. Made a couple of quick little fittings for the transmission line, so we can get rid of that transmission cooler now. And looks like I need to take the little spacer piece out for the lower radiator hose. The upper one we can probably stretch to fit on there. Slap the condenser in quick. I got those lines, all of that stuff hooked up. We'll clean that up, bundle it up, get it nice once we get this thing strapped in here. So it looks like it is pretty much identical size to what we had originally, and extremely reasonable in price. So and it's aluminum, so it should help cool this thing a little bit better. But yeah, let's go ahead and slap it in. All right, we just shut her down a few minutes ago, got her cooled off. She ran for her 25 minutes, got the cam break-in done. I got the timing set on it, checked the oil, checked the coolant. She ran just under 180 for that 20 minutes off the first fire out, which is pretty good. Had great oil pressure. it should be ready to go home. She is just dirty as hell, so we are going to get this filthy girl over there, wash her up, make sure there's no leaks, anything that I need to be concerned about, and he can start doing his 500 miles again.
Psych!
I'm gonna push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button, push the button.